Hi everyone and welcome. In the previous video we have covered that how to configure SQL client module in Neuron for data logging to MySQL database. Okay, so if you want to log your data from Neuron to MySQL database, then you can watch this video to understand the procedure that how you can log your Neuron data to MySQL database. Okay, now in this video we will see that how to configure SQL client module in the Neuron for data logging to MSSQL database. So instead of logging data into the MySQL database, we are going to log our data into the Microsoft SQL Server database. Okay, so let's see how you can do that. So here is our Neuron up and running. Now, first of all, you have to go to the config section and then you have to click on the modules. And here you have to create new module. Now, I have already created the SQL client module, so I'm not going to create it again. Okay, so once you create new module, you have to select your module type, which should be SQL client. Okay, so once you do that, once you save it, you will have your SQL client module here in this list. Also, you have your SQL client module in this list as well. Now, once you have your SQL client module in this list, you can go to that module. Okay, and here you can see one channel which I have created to log our data into the MySQL database. Okay, so right now we are going to log our data into the MSSQL database, so I have to create one more channel. Okay, so I'm going to click on this new channel and we want to log our data into the MSSQL database, so it's my MSSQL channel. And here we have to select that we are going to enable the data collection. Yes. Okay, now here you can see the connector and the type is MySQL, which is default, but we don't want to log our data into the MySQL database, so here we will select the SQL server. Okay, so it will be able to log our data into the MSSQL database. Now here, instead of this localhost IP address, you have to provide the database server name. Okay, so here is my SSMS. I'm going to disconnect. I will connect again, and here you can see my server name. So I will copy this server name from here. I will go to the Neuron and I will paste my server name here. And here you can see the default port, which is 1433, and the default database I have is test database. Okay, if you want to see, then I am going to connect with my server, and here in the database you can see I have the test database and I don't have any tables here. Okay, so that's why I have provided the test database here. Now the authentication type you have to select is username and password. So I have already as a user created in my MSSQL database. Okay, and the password for as a user is TOOR. That's it. I can click on save and it will restart the SQL client module. Now we have to add the transaction here. Okay, but this portion is done. So what you can do is you can click on this three dot and you can add new history transaction. Okay, and then after you can save it. After that, you can see we have this new history transaction here. So now we have to configure this history transaction. Okay, we want to enable the data collection. Yes. Now instead of event mode, you have to select the snapshot mode. Okay, that thing you have to take care of. Now in the trigger, we are going to select the periodic trigger, and we are going to log our data at interval of 10 seconds. So that's why here it is mentioned 10,000 millisecond. Okay, now we don't have to do anything in the parameter. Now we just have to go to the query. Now query type is selected custom as a default. We are going to keep it as it is, and in the option you can see the script is JavaScript. Okay, so you have to edit small thing in this JavaScript, so you can click on this JavaScript icon, and here instead of MySQL database we are going to log our data into the MSSQL database. So you just have to replace this syntax. Okay, so we are going to log our data into the MSSQL database, so that's why you have to provide the MSSQL syntax here. And the table name is history. So if you want to change the table name, then you can change it from here. So it will log our data into the history table, and if the history table is not created, then it will create the history table automatically, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, after changing this two thing, you just have to press the save button, and then after you have to add tag filters, that which tag you want to log, okay, in this periodic trigger. So you have to click on this three dot, you have to click on new tag filter path. Okay, And here you have to select the list of tag which you want to log into the MSSQL database. So I'm going to click here and I want to log this cabin 1 inverter 1 tag. So I will select this, okay, and I will click on select group and then I will click on save. It will restart my SQL client module and it will start logging the data into my MSSQL database. Now I can click on the table, I can refresh, and here you can see the history table is created by the neuron. I can select top 1000 row and here you can see we have our first data. Okay, now I can execute it again and here you can see the first data was logged at 7:17:14 and the second data is at 7:17:24. So exactly after 10 seconds it will log another data. Okay, so this is how you can use a neuron to log your data into the MSSQL database. Previously we have covered the configuration for MySQL database, and in this video we have covered the configuration of MSSQL database. Okay, now in the future we will cover the configuration of PostgreSQL database and the timescale DB. So I hope this thing is clear that how you can use Neuron to log your data into the MSSQL database and how to configure the SQL client module in the Neuron. If you still have any questions or any doubt, then you can always ping me on Telegram, Instagram, WhatsApp, anywhere. Okay, also you can comment on this video, also you can send me a mail. So let's meet in the future video, and in the future video we are going to cover this topic, that how you can configure SQL client module in the Neuron for data logging to PostgreSQL database. So stay tuned for the future videos. Till then, take care, goodbye, and thank you.